Hello everyone, I'm ImKibitz and welcome back to Satisfactory, where last time we set up a huge truck network in what will be our main base location, where we're gonna be doing a variety of things. So I want to set up some trucks and gather some ore. And now, we got it! In spite of the truck's quirkiness. Except we have a huge problem that I did not realize until now, and we're missing a critical component to make this whole project possible. See, the whole reason I want a main base is because I like to build a lot most of the time. And the dimensional storage is great, but it's slow. And if I want to pave a biome, 240 items per minute just isn't it. Oh my gosh, and we're not even there yet. We don't even have all the upgrades. So what I want available is just a bunch of certain items just in a giant bin, ready to grab when I need to. Say like I'm doing a big belt project, I can fill half my inventory with encased beams. Or if I'm paving, I can just go to a bin, yoink it and scoot, etc, etc. So that would require me to automate every single item in the game over at that other location. But here's the big problem, the real problem. Because I can't do that yet, because I'm missing a very critical alternate recipe. Because right now, our only recipe for heavy modular frames is the default one, and it uses screws. And I'm not automating screws. I refuse. And heavy modular frames, along with computers, are the most important thing I need to automate right now. You need the heavy modular frames for trains, along with the computers. And then as we move into phase 7, 8, and 9, oh my gosh, we need those items out the wazoo. Well then so what, Kibs? You just need one recipe, no biggie, right? Well, you see, now this is where things cascade into a variety of problems, because I am out of hard drives, and we do not have the alternate for heavy modular frames available or unlocked. I could rescan these hard drives, but I want to leave them scanned, so it blocks these recipes from being rediscovered. So what's happening right now? I want to finish my main base by building the storage room. I can't build a storage room because I don't have the heavy modular frame alternate. I don't have the heavy modular frame alternate because I don't have enough hard drives. And I don't have enough hard drives because I can't explore and find anymore without probably some better weapons. Because out in the woods, there be nightmares a lot worse than the little hog guys. And my Weebog gun doesn't really cut it. So what does that mean? Well, that means today, we're building a weapons factory. We're gonna automate every weapon we possibly can in the game by diving through the sulfur mam tree. And it all starts with smokeless powder. And with this, we'll get better explosives, a rifle, and even more advanced weapons later on. But right now, since we don't have uranium, or aluminum for turbo rifle ammo, we're gonna focus on getting the rifle, explosive rebar, cluster nobelisks, and then in this tech tree, we can get shatter rebar, which is kind of like a shotgun rebar shot, a new nobelisk. Probably the most important weapon we're gonna need out of everything is the bullet guided system tech, which gives us homing rifle ammo, i.e. auto aim. But we'll start with the sulfur tree first here. It looks like we need something called smokeless powder, and that needs heavy oil residue. Okay, need that for that, need that for this, need that even for the rifle, need it for practically everything. Well, if we need oil, I know just the place to go. So really temporarily, I'm gonna go over to this side of the area, and we're gonna set up a smokeless powder recipe, I guess? We have a ton of extra oil here. We're using hardly any of the oil reserves for the power plant, so we can mess around a lot and not affect things. But right now, heavy oil residue, great. Polymer resin, we'll get rid of it. Then smokeless powder is black powder. Uh-oh, that needs coal and sulfur. Okay, well we have all that stuff here, but I don't want to redirect a bunch of belts to automate all that. No, we're just gonna try and do a temporary solution. Go to our other temporary weapons factory and just yoink the products out of there. Wait, where are the products? I already yoinked them for research. They're with me the whole time. We have more in here now. Oh, yes, we do. Oh, man. So just ferry the stuff back and forth and build another temporary setup for this and let her rip. This is why I want a main base location and just to automate everything. No more stupid little temporary setups. I would rather just run around a factory and grab what I need. Don't even need that there. Holy macaroni. Yeah, it's just like a very persistent migraine. But thank goodness we can at least overclock that and Somersloop it to multiply all the outputs. Much better. Also, the animation for refineries when they're looped is very interesting too. Oh, there's like purple flames coming out the top. That actually is so cool. Gah, 1.0 is the best. Now we should get those unlocks in no time. So with 100, what can we get? Not the rebar? Sad. We can get the rifle though. Let's yoink that. Anita, anything fun to say?
Only to be used for the defense or acquisition of fix-it property. Conveniently, this includes everything of value on this planet.
So we're just defending our resources. We own this planet, smiley face. It's actually nice to unlock the rifle though first, because now we can figure out how to make the rifle ammo, which of course is more smokeless powder and copper sheets. Okay, well, kinda need that smokeless powder for research and stuff. So let's just split it up. Half can go in a bin, other half for that. Then we can get ourselves a bunch of copper sheets, which we have on us, of course, and start making that rifle ammo. At a rate of 75 per minute as well, that's not bad. But when we overclock, 187 per minute, and with a couple loops, 375 a minute. Those are the good numbers, brother. So yeah, it really took no time at all to get a ton of ammo. Thank you very much. And now we should be able to complete everything in the MAM, except for turbo rifle ammo. Wait, do we have aluminum? We found some on the ground. Perfect. Thank you, litterers. Can't wait to actually automate that, but unfortunately we can only unlock it for now. However, we can get the homing rifle ammo, so we don't even have to aim anymore. I also think I'm gonna be learning that I love explosive rebar. Imagine having a nobelisk, except you can launch it like 100 feet. And cluster bombs. All right, we have the goods. So rest in peace, Geneva Convention. Thank you.
Can be used for clearing large areas of vegetation and other inconveniences. Addendum. Inconveniences, in this case, is not defined to include persistent family members, raccoons, student debt,
No!
the sunrise, peer performance reviews,
What?
neighbors learning to play the saxophone, phone calls, or your favorite show getting cancelled.
I respectfully disagree. If my neighbor is trying to learn the saxophone and they're not using like headphones and stuff, I feel it's only fair to deliver them a special gift. Anyway, extra inventory slots at the end of the day too? Don't mind if I do. You know, what could you possibly say about that?
Pocket dimension inflated by utilizing numinous gel hydrology channeled through an etheric spigot.
What?
Some used to say this as impossible, but the meaning of that word has long since been removed from my dictionary.
Oh, well that's good then. All right, but in the meantime here, we are stuck. We can't get any more tech, no? Oh, except for the quartz stuff. Yes, shatter rebar, please and thank you.
Fix-It does not condone the use of such violent methods, so make sure there are no witnesses.
Oh, don't you worry about that. Pulse nobelisks as well?
This ammunition for the nobelisk detonator generates a powerful shockwave capable of repelling nearby objects, including the user. Unrelated. Please ensure all your Fix-It liability waivers are up to date.
Wait, we have liability waivers? No matter. We are done with the quartz tech tree. So the last thing we can get is nothing. Oh wait, no. A gas grenade.
Chase away creatures with a damaging cloud of gas. Note. Also harms unwary pioneers. Not for recreational use.
We'll be fine. Last time we also got the gas mask and automated the filters as well, so we're not smelling nothing. Okay, so we got a ton of stuff to automate now. Holy, we got our work cut out for us. Before we do, oh boy, I gotta play with a little bit of shatter rebar. This stuff is one of my favorite weapons in the whole game. So let's find a friend. Oh, Timothy. It's me, Kibitz. Look, I got a new toy. Look at it, look at it, look at it. Why fire one shot when you can fire 20? Hey, hey, hey. I know you're jealous, but you don't need a pout, okay? Here, take a forever nap. You'll feel better. I wonder how this would do against flies. Flies are always the worst. Hey, guys, scoot out. Okay, it's pretty good. Not super good against the nest, but you line them up and you can get rid of a few. Still not as good as the homing rifle ammo. Well, at least with flies. But it definitely ain't bad. But now we got our next problem. We have so many different weapons to automate, and our oil is all over here. And I do not want to make a weapons factory at the power plant. I feel like that's a bad combination. Just, you know, logic and maybe a little bit of safety there. So what are our options? Well, we could throw logic and safety to the wind, or maybe we turn another oil patch like the one over here into a weapons factory, or I think we're gonna go with this option. We're gonna bring the remaining oil in this biome, it's about 1,800 per minute, over to our main base, and then we can use it for the weapons factory, and then also for some other shenanigans. How far is this pipeline gonna go? From all the way to here to there? Oh no. Part of me is just like, Kibs, why don't you use like a fluid train or package it or something? But no, I have some big plans for all of that oil, and it will need its throughput to be perfect. And the only way to really assure that is with a pipe. Then looking into the journey, we'll bring it to somewhere like here, and then we'll have it hit the ground over there. And then we have to line this up with our main base. So we have to bring the pipeline through all the mushrooms, the farts, the foliage. Is this gonna be possible? Oh boy, possible, yes. Easy, maybe actually easy. Just dodging all of the cliffs. Might have to destroy like a tree. But I think this directly will go through the biome. Before I start destroying and blowing up the entire area, let's just confirm, okay, there's no actual cliff like this. Yeah, I don't like this cliff here. Also, I don't want the pipeline to be moving up, down, and grooving all around. I'd rather it be in as straight of a line as possible. So we can continue from here, go a little bit higher, and then if we destroy that mushroom in front of us, we're practically at the other biome. Oh no, the two grids aren't aligned. That's not good. That's a little whoopsies from Mr. Kibs. But actually what's more important is, can we get the heights to align? I'm a lot more worried about that. Oh my gosh, I think we actually can. Oh, that is like perfect. Okay, well, aim for the moon, landed among the stars. That is a lot more important than lining things up properly. Because height issues, super bad and annoying. Alignment issues like this, relatively easy to hide. We can just build a pipeline off in the woods here, out of sight. And another one over here. And you can make this look pretty dang... Okay, look, you can make it look okay. Don't worry about that for now. Different thing to worry about instead. Can we have this platform go all the way back to the base? And it looks like we're about to hit a cliff here. Not in the end of the world. Maybe we can move one tile over. We dodge most things, yes? Oh yes. Threads the needle, and then we're home free. Project is possible. It can look nice. I now just have the unenviable task of getting 3 full oil pipelines through all of this. Yeah, that's not gonna be the best, but maybe we can make something work. And well, there definitely was a way to bring the oil over. It just was not easy, like, at all. Had to move like a ton of decorations, a ton of these belts had to get out of the way. New logistics towers had to be thrown up, piped and pumped, and all of this area just got redeveloped. But we made it through the hard part, and all of the oil is scooting up through the tower and into the woods, where we'll bring it all the way back to base. And like I was trying to tell you and show you earlier, look, it doesn't look too bad, does it? Yeah, if you organize the pipes a little bit, it's okay if they're not following the exact same grid. It's a little bit of character, that's all. And what's even better is I finagled this little tunnel here So it goes directly to the main base, doesn't clip into the cliff at all. It's practically a straight shot. I had another really interesting idea too, where instead of building giant pillars holding up these pipelines, instead we're gonna hook them into the cliff side here. So we'll get a foundation here, probably make it like grip metal, throw it down there, then zoop a frame in, give it some support, like that. So the pipe will go from that cliff all the way over to here and be supported by this cliff. And we can do the same thing here, there. Then we could even try hanging the pipes from the cliff here. Yeah, this is a really good idea. Should be fine. A lot of you guys are probably like, but Kibs, all of the supports, what about the supports? You can't just build a pipeline at an infinite length, can you? Can you? No, no, you can't. What you can do is you can just delete the supports and the pipe is still there. So it looks like an infinitely length pipe, or however long a pipe you want to make. And for this little project here, that should look pretty good. But before we finish that up, let's go back to base and figure out how we're going to be utilizing all of the oil. The big thing is I want to use it to make a bunch of plastic and rubber, but I just don't have the alternates yet, nor will I for a little while here, I'm sure. But I at least want to prep the area for when we get started. So we'll have like our future factory practically set up, and once we have the recipes, we'll be able to complete the job. The nice thing too is we have the first step of the whole process, which is the heavy oil residue recipe. And I'll get into the rubber and plastic system a lot later when we actually build it fully, but for now, this is the mission critical. And each machine takes 30 crude oil, and we have 1,800 crude coming. That's a couple refineries. So thank goodness that we have blueprints, eh? Or else this would have taken forever. But no, it was not too bad. 60-year built, just had to grab a bunch of items from my base. Also, oil scooted over, full 1800, and the design worked out pretty well. Got some pipes hanging, attached to the cliff and all that jazz. And inside the biome, because we got rid of all the supports, it looks phenomenal. We even have the measurement points nicely in the middle here. A few of you might be like, oh, but Kibs, the markers are in the wrong place. It doesn't look good. You know what? You would be right in complaining about that. But don't worry, now it's fixed. All is well in the world. So now it's time to actually automate all of our weapons. Where exactly? I'm thinking in some area just back here. We'll have all of our item production on that side. So this middle ground area would be perfect. For our floors, we're just gonna go up like 9 blocks, and then on the 9th, that is gonna be our floor height. That's just so the refineries don't clip into the ceiling. Now we gotta take stock of what exactly we need. Well, for sure, we need to make a bunch of nobelisks. We need to make a bunch of rebar, and we need to make a bunch of rifle ammo. So nobelisks, they take the black powder and steel pipe. Well, okay, we'll get a bunch of black powder set up. Let's just go out on a limb here and say we need 4 machines for that. Then we'll probably need another 4 machines for the nobelisks. There's a lot of different nobelisks we want to make, so we're gonna need a lot of them to get the process started. And then that smokeless powder, we gotta make a decent amount of that. We don't need a lot, that's the main thing. We just need a system that runs kind of well, and we'll be fine. I can't shoot like 1,000 rifle ammos per minute, or at least I can't find enough targets that fast. So as long as we have a decent system, everything should work out pretty well. So let's just say we want 60 smokeless powder per minute. That'll be 30 heavy oil residue and 60 black powder. Well, going back to the black powder machines, the ratio here gets us 30 per minute. Okay, so that's cool. Copy and paste 4 of these machines still. And then we'll see the nobelisks. How much black powder do you want? They want 20 per minute. So we have 4, so that's 80 per minute. So here's the deal. We will scoot this around over this way, and we'll send half over to the refineries and half over to this system. And since we need 80, there's still like a power shard in here. We'll make 90. Sure, why not? We could just enter the number and save some power, which is just as easy. Let's just do that. And there we go. Black powder, nobelisks, and smokeless powder are done. Which means it's time for the smorgasbord. Let's start with nobelisks, eh? We gotta make the gas nobelisk. A nobelisk in biomass. Biomass we'll find from somewhere. And then we gotta make the pulse nobelisk. Oh my gosh. Nobelisks and crystal oscillators? That's gonna take a minute. But no matter. The last one we can make right now is the cluster nobelisk, which is the nobelisk and smokeless powder. Okay, cool. That one's actually gonna be kind of easy. Barely an inconvenience. But how about the rebar? We're gonna need a bunch of that too. So another 3 at least, right? Because there is the stun rebar, the shatter rebar, and I didn't see the explosive rebar in here because it's not there. Oh, big machine? Big machine. But nice recipe? Yes. Iron rebar, smokeless powder, steel pipe, that's not bad at all. Okay, so we got rebar, we got nobelisks. Last thing is the rifle ammo. Saw one rifle thing in there. And then the turbo rifle ammo, I'm pretty sure is a manufacturer thing. Yes. We don't have the aluminum casing, so we can't automate that. But we can get that smart ammo. Smart ammo just needs high-speed connectors. Okay. Yeah, we kind of have a big list of things that we need to automate, eh? Oh my gosh, so this is the problem with the weapons factory. It's not that anything is particularly that difficult, it's just you need a variety of things. Like iron rods to make the rebar. Once we have the rebar, we can make the other things, but then we'll need quick wire. Thankfully the explosive stuff just requires belting. And since we have the nobelisks, we just need biomass for the gas, crystal oscillators for the pulse one, cluster is belting, copper sheets will be necessary for the rifle ammo, and then high-speed connectors for the smart ammo. And right now, we have all the raw resources, but not a single production machine. Ignoring the Caterium ones, don't worry about that. So we are gonna need our friend, EOL Blueprint Designer Mark II. And we're gonna make a ton of blueprints. Like a basic one for smelters. That can just have like 10 in it, which makes it easily expandable for when we get better mining machines. We'll also need some foundries too then. So just made a little set of 3 here that's stackable. And naturally, a big blueprint of constructors. Nice 10 of them to make all of the random things like rods and plates and not screws for our future adventures. So let's get to work processing then, eh? And how are we gonna go about this? Well, we have all the raw resources brought right back down to here. So I'm thinking we'll start with the basic processing and then work our way up through more and more complex machines. And if we're doing basic stuff, that means we're gonna need a lot of smelters, foundries, and constructors, as well as pure processors. There are really good alternate recipes in this game called pure recipes, where you combine a resource with water to get a really good yield from the ore. So we're gonna be using that for Caterium and then for quartz as well. And you know, if I get desperate and crazy, we might do that for limestone as well, but don't hold your breath on that. Let's just start off with our first 10 schmelters to get things kicked off. And thinking about our belts here, we have iron, copper, we have everything, but this iron belt's pretty weird because we're getting 900 iron ore per minute from 6 different impure iron nodes. But our belts can only handle 480 items per minute. So we're not even able to use all of that iron we're getting. But since we're using trucks, we can kind of skirt around the belt issue because the truck stations have 2 outputs. So if we just split these outputs up, we'd have 1 belt of 450, then we can drag another belt out that will also have 450 ore. So by using trucks, we're breaking through the limits of what our belts can do, which will be super, super handy. We'll just have to not bring a resource downstairs. And I think that'll be sulfur. Sulfur is nice, but what can we even use it for? Literally just the weapons factory stuff right now. So then we'll just redirect that, we'll bring it back that way, and then the weapons factory is just being set up down there. So we can pretend that that's 450 iron then, go back downstairs, and then we can smelt it all in an array. So each can take 30 iron ore per minute. 900 divided by 30, take a guess, is 30. We have a blueprint that makes 10 of these schmelters. And it's almost like the game is just playing itself here. Easy peasy. And we do that for every other raw resource, just straight down the line. So shout out to blueprints. Made this a heck of a lot easier. But I forgot something really, really important. We don't have any water. Oh no. No sip. Can't stay hydrated. We need water for all the pure recipes I'm trying to use. So over here, it's 37.5 times like 12. 450 water. In the middle here floating is Caterium, and we need 600 per minute at that point. So long story short, oh my gosh, and the oil system I plan to build. Yeah, no, long story short, we need so much water. Good news, there's water right next door. Over by our quartz nodes and Caterium, we have the Bean Lake. Bean Lake has good chunk of water just for me, and we are going to use practically all of it. Or at least we're gonna gather it all. I don't know exactly how much we'll use, but it's gonna be ridiculous. Beyond ore processing, oil needs a lot of water to get going, so we will just collect literally as much as possible, then go from there. Let's bring some platforms down so we can get close to the sip. Scoot it out this way so we have some areas for pipe work. And then get the extractors down so that we can spam. The great thing with water extractors too is when they're fully overclocked, they extract 300 water per minute. So if you just build in multiples of 2, you'll have full Mark II pipes out the wazoo. Also, while we're doing this, probably should switch this to standard. And now we build in blue, right? Right. So let the spam commence. And editing magic. Do the thing! Fantastic. Thank you, editing magic. Now we have, I don't even know how many water extractors we have. I just built as many as I pretty much could conveniently build, and we'll scoop up as much water as we need when we need it. So for now, we have however many pipes this is, all full of 600 water each, being piped up here, and ready to go to our main base. And with the water, that is all of our basic resources ready to go for production. So everything will move its way up to the next floor. So go up like another 9. Try and stay consistent with that. Build along the 9th here. And we'll start the next tier processing. Oh, wait. I forgot something. Do you guys see what I forgot? Oh no. I kind of maybe forgot to put down the steel blueprint. Does that fit here? It fits here. Okay, that's good. We have about 3 OC, a normal node that has 3 overclocks. That is 300 coal per minute right now, and can be upgraded later on to 600 coal per minute. Okay, we're using our favorite solid steel recipe here. That's divided by 40 per minute. 300 divided by 40, not bad. And preparing for the future, we should probably build the full 15. Okay, well, I gotta say, I've made worse mistakes. Thank goodness we at least have the space here. I'm just gonna have to move a bunch of belts out of the way, but it'll be fine. I'll finish that all up in a minute. I want to talk about a really cool idea I had. So in this area, I want this space, where we're not building the floors, to just be empty and full of belts going all over. But what I thought was, how do we get the materials from A to the next floor in an interesting manner? And I got the great idea of bringing them over to logistics pillars that are just in the empty space here. So we'll bring the belt over, we'll build a bunch of conveyor lifts that just go up to like the next floor, and then we can go up and up and up and up and up, as many floors as we need, right? Like, we take the ingots, goes to the next floor to be, I don't know, iron plates to the next floor to be reinforced iron plates, etc. All along different pillars throughout this area. And eventually it should look pretty good. But until we have our weapons factory and our storage room built, this whole area is just gonna be spaghetti. Except for here, this is kind of nice. In fact, it's even better than I expected. It's beautiful. The extra foundries really filled in that extra bit of space, and it looks cool. There is one small problem of needing the extra iron ingots to make that solid steel. So I just kind of have the refineries or smelters hanging from the roof up there, which is a little weird, but it looks good from afar. So I'm gonna keep it for now. Might change my mind. And then the logistics pillar is starting to look really awesome. Got all the items moving and grooving all over the place, and they're just going to a bunch of bins for further processing, which we are going to start now. So we need a huge variety of items, right? And at the end of the day, I want to process everything for a big storage room too. So I don't lose my absolute freaking mind and automate literally every single thing in the game today. We're just gonna hyper focus on what we need for the weapons factory, and that's it. So that means we're gonna need a lot of iron rods, the copper sheets, cable, quick wire, and all that jazz. And at this point, that just means we're gonna spam a lot of blueprints. By the way, if you are a supporter on Patreon, I'm gonna be throwing a bunch of new blueprints up on there as well. So if you want to use all the new ones I've been making, they're gonna be available for you. Ooh, like this quick wire assembler recipe. It is 8 assemblers stacked into one blueprint, and it is gonna be super, super, super handy for when you guys get working on quick wire, and for myself too, of course. It uses the alternate recipe of fused quick wire, which is Caterium ingots and copper ingots to get you a ton of this stuff. But what's better about it, that I like a ton, is it's very easy to expand. So we'll just copy the blueprint, die inside that I don't have enough resources, restock for a second, and then show you what I mean here. So when we copy that blueprint and we spin it around like so, we can use the straight build mode to bring the overflow from the first set to the next set. Just be a little careful when pasting the blueprint that you don't paste them together. The main thing is they're stackable, really easily stackable. So now you can make even more quick wire. As much quick wire as you possibly can. And with this alternate recipe and the 600 Caterium ingots we're gonna be making down there, that's gonna be a lot of quick wire. Maybe a little too much quick wire, in fact. So with the 600 Caterium, we can combine that with 3,000 copper and make 7,200 quick wire per minute with just a few sets of assemblers here. Mind you, they are overclocked out the wazoo. In order to use 600 Caterium ingots per minute at a rate of 7.5 per minute, that would have required a few more assemblers than I wanted to build right now. But by overclocking, I only had to build 32. That wasn't too bad, right? Kinda was, because I do not have 3,000 copper right now, nor will I for a while, but at least the system's built. Speaking of, all the other systems I need to build are done too. So we're making the iron rods. I ended up making some iron plates for some reason, cable, wire, etc. And now, oh, we gotta get the complicated stuff, like high-speed connectors. Well, we have most things, and circuit boards aren't too bad, copper sheets, and plastic. Well, the plastic isn't a big deal. We brought over all of our oil, and we have all of this heavy oil residue being made, so we're gonna have polymer resin out the wazoo, and with the residual recipe, that's gonna be a good chunk of plastic. Just need some extra water, but we went to the lake and we grabbed all of it, so that's not a problem either. So plastic, done skis. But you know what's funny? The copper sheets kind of are a bit of a problem. We have an impure copper node that is being trucked over to the base here, but that's only 150 copper ore per minute. So to make all of the quick wire, the fused quick wire, and all of these copper sheets, it's gonna take a lot of copper ingots and a lot more than I have. At least that's what I thought at first, and then I did a scan, right? And I remembered something quite important. There's 3 normal copper nodes directly underneath us, sitting pretty at the bottom of the pit. There they all are. So copper, not a big problem either. This system is a little bit temporary though, because there is a pure copper recipe that I want, so we can get a lot more of it for later on. Just don't have the alternate yet. We'll get it soon. So for now, we're just gonna smelt the stuff, bring it up to some more refineries, and we're gonna make a heck of a lot of copper sheets. we're gonna need a lot later, so I was like, may as well set up a couple refineries now. Got the materials, we got the blueprints, easy peasy. Bring them upstairs through the logistics tower, and we're ready to rock and roll. Now, we gotta build the manufacturers here. Oh, not just for the high-speed connectors, but for the crystal oscillators. So how about this? Instead of going to the entire next floor, we'll try and fill in a little bit of space. We'll go up by 9. We'll get the positioning right for the next floor. And then, kind of like the hanging smelters, maybe we'll have them hang, or we'll figure out something to do. But we'll have an extra floor just for these few items. Because we're not building like 100 manufacturers or something like that, or even caring really about the production rates. All we want is one manufacturer running, and the project is done. That's it. So if we have this here, we still need the circuit boards. So with the circuit boards, you just have an assembler right next door here. Belt that directly into the manufacturer. And then all the stuff for the assembler, well, that's just downstairs pretty much, or by the logistics tower. So zoop, 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 and all of the items we need are practically there. At least once we get done all of the spaghetti. And with the power of straight build mode and belts on the ceiling, it really isn't all too bad. So it was kind of bad, but it's done, okay? It's done. Maybe we can change this up later, I don't know. But I managed to get all of the items over here. Got the crystal oscillators ready to go. Got the highest speed connectors hooked up too. And that should be it, right? We have all of the items down here. We have to just belt them over to the weapons factory. But wait, already done. Scooting them over just along these few logistics lines and up onto the ceiling into the weapons factory. I brought some water down. The heavy oil residue will go up. And once the weapons factory is prepared, all we have to do is power it all on. Oh, but wait, it is prepared. I took the exact concepts that we're talking about way earlier, just making the basics and then kind of scooting off from that point. And now it's all belted properly. Everything's going into bins, some into dimensional storage, and it should be ready to turn on. So again, the black powder, the nobelisks, and the smokeless oily stuff goes into each set of machines. The rifle ammo goes into the rifle area. The nobelisks go to make all the nobelisks. And the rebar goes to make all the rebar. So then it's time to activate all the blueprints we've set up today. Unfortunately, I don't have a good way to bring power around here right now, so I'm setting up these obnoxious power towers, but that's okay. It's temporary.tm, smiley face. All we gotta do is find a connection point like right there, and the system comes to life. Brought the power through the floor over there to power the manufacturers. They'll get running eventually. We'll see what problems arise in a moment. But we also got to get that oil stuff started. That's just a connection from A to B. Maybe a C to D. Why isn't this running? Excuse me? Where did I forget? Right here? Classic Kibs. All right. C to D. Now the oil floweth over. And we're making a ridiculous amount of heavy oil residue. And that extra polymer stuff is being made into a bunch of rubber and plastic. The rubber and plastic setup here will be destroyed at some point though. Why is it not powered? Did I forget again? Kibs. How many blueprints did you set up today? How could you ever forget to connect them together? What a lad. As I was saying, this is all temporary until we get the bigger setup, but for now, it'll be fine. Ooh, we have a problem. We got a big problem. Didn't think about this one, Chief. How much heavy oil residue are we making? We only need to use like 30 per minute upstairs. I think it's 40 times 20. Okay, we're making a lot of heavy oil residue. And if we don't use a lot, well then polymer resin doesn't get made to make the plastic and the rubber. And if we don't have the plastic and the rubber, then nothing works. Oh my gosh, wait. There's an easy solution to this, besides just panicking. Petroleum coke. Aha, there we go. We'll overclock these out the wazoo. And that'll take up 100 per minute. That gets us 300 petroleum coke, and then we just sink it. We're actually gonna use all this heavy oil residue in the future, so we don't really care about the little temporary setup right now. Just make something ugly and consider the problem flushed. All will be fine. Just a surprising amount of belt work because we're making 300, what is this? Petroleum coke per minute per refinery? Like, oh my gosh. Those poor 480 belts just not having it. But in due time, it won't matter. Because now we have everything we need to make all of the weapons that we can make in the game. You connect up, power, activate. Red lights screaming into the void. Why are they red? No power? Here, wait. What? Bah! There you go. And that's that. The arsenal of Gibbs is being created. And the machines downstairs, looks like they're kind of working a little bit. That's all we need. Them to work a little bit. Definitely all those assemblers are never all gonna be running at once, but we just need enough to make a few things. And then we'll have hundreds of smart rifle cartridges and nobelisks that we can use to take over the world. And oh my goodness, the universe has chosen me to be the best fix-it pioneer. And a once-in-a-lifetime thing happened. A real, for real, 90-degree belt. No little curve at the corner. No, straight 90 degrees. It's perfect. I love it. Don't worry about the clipping. The universe is choosing us to be its warrior, its champion, to fight off the filth of the world. Brother, I'm ready. But I'm sorry, guys, we're gonna have to save the rampage for next time. But still, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, subscribe for more. But for now, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.